Okay, so today we are doing paper February-March 2020, paper 2-2, the extended paper 2. Let's start with the first question. From the list, write down a number that is a multiple of 3. So 3.56 is not a multiple of 3 because it's a decimal number. 5 is not a multiple of 3. Uh, 12 I know is a multiple of 3, so I'm going to stick 12 here. Let's see, 8 is not a multiple of 3, square root of 7 is not multiple of 3, square root of 196 is 14, which is also not a multiple of 3. So the answer is 12. A cube number. So cube number is 8 because cube root of 8 is 2, so it's definitely 8. Cube number is a number whose cube root is a whole number. So if you find cube root of 12 from a calculator, you won't get whole number. Prime number. So prime number is a number which is divisible by 1 and itself only. So that would be 5. An irrational number. An irrational number is a number that cannot be written as a fraction. This can be written as a fraction 356 over 100. This is 5 over 1. This is 14 over 1. This is 8 over 1. This can't be written as a fraction. This can be written as a fraction as well. So the answer would be square root of 7. So that's question number 1. Let's take a look at question 2. Stem and leaf. Complete the stem and leaf diagram. Uh, let's see, the smallest number here is 13. So 1, 3 makes 13. I'm following this key. Then the next number is 15. So 1 is already written. I'm writing 5. And then 18, 8. After that, it's 21. So I'll write 1 here. 24, 26, 28. Then it's 36, 38, 38. So 6, 8, 8. And then 45 and 48. So 5 and 8. Find the median numbers of swimmers. Median is the value in the middle. So how many values do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 values. So 12 is an even number. So if we have even numbers of value, in the middle you have two values. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So you need to look for the sixth value and the seventh value. These two are the middle positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth value is 26 and seventh value is 28. So I'll have to find the average of these two. So I'll add these two and divide it with 2, which gives me a 27. So 27 is the answer for 2 part B. Okay, question 3. question 3. And I guess I'll also copy 4 and 5. Point A has coordinate 6, 4. Point B has coordinate 2, 7. Write AB as a column vector. So coordinates A is 6, 4, which means the vector OA is 6, 4. The position vector of A is 6, 4. The position vector of B is 2, 7. So finding AB means finding OB minus OA. OB is 2, 7 minus 6, 4, which gives us minus 4 and 3. So that's the answer for question 3. Question number 4. Find the interior angles of a regular polygon with 24 sides. So I'm going to use this smaller formula, which is n is equals to 360 over exterior angle. Exterior angle is equals to 360 over n, which is the number of sides, which is 24. What is 360 divided by 24? It's 15. So exterior angle is 15, which means interior angle would be 180 minus 15 degrees, which is 165 degrees. Okay, next question. Without using a calculator, work out this division of two fractions. So 15 upon 28 times 7 divided by 4. Let's cancel this. We get a 4 here, so we're getting 15 over 16. So that's the answer. Question 6. The table shows the marks scored by 40 students in a test. Calculate the mean marks. So 5 times 8 plus 6 times 5 plus 7 times 11 plus 8 times 7 plus 9 times 5 plus 10 times 4 divided by sum of all frequencies, sum of all of these, which is usually given in the question, 40. So I'm going to just write 40. Now I'll find the upper product. 4 times 8 plus 6 times 5 plus 7 times 11 plus 8 times 7 plus 9 times 5 plus 10 times 4, which is giving me 288 divided by 40, which is 7.2. Question 7. Calculate the area. So that's going to be half times base times height 8.5 times 10.8 times 8.5, which is 45.9. Calculate the perimeter. Perimeter would be sum of all sides. So one side is 8.5 plus the other side is 10.8 plus the third side. For this side I will apply the Pythagoras theorem, which is square root of 8.5 square plus 10.8 square. So I'll just enter this entire thing here. 8.5 square plus 10.8 square. And what do I get? Square root of 8.5 square plus 10.8 square is 13.7437. So 8.5 plus 10.8 plus this answer 13.7437. So plus 10.8 plus 8.5, that's giving me a 33.0437, 33.0, which is the correct answer. Okay, next question. Calculate the value of this. So I'll just enter this entire thing in my calculator. 8.3 times 10 power minus 3 plus 6.8 times 10 power minus 4, which gives me, give your answer in standard form. So I'm just getting the answer. Calculator says it's 149 over 500,050,000, which when I press ST gives me 2.98 into 10 power minus 3. Next question. Factorize this completely, so we can take 3 common and x common, so we're left with x minus 4y, which is the answer. Next is expand and simplify. So you just have to open the brackets. M square plus 2m minus 3m minus 6, which gives us m square minus m minus 6. Okay, next question. Sketch the graph of y is equals to x minus 3. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to sketch the graph of y is equals to x, which is a line like this. Y is equals to x minus 3 is just a transformed graph, and it goes 3 units down. So that means that this graph is going 3 units down. So now it cuts at -3 and this would cut at 3. So this is the graph for y equals x minus 3. Next is the graph for y is equals to 1 over x. That's a reciprocal function. That means there has to be a discontinuity in the graph. So this graph looks like this. And just in case the question was y is equals to -1 over x, then the graph would have looked like this. Next question. Alright. Describe fully a single transformation that maps A onto B. Now, how is A mapping into a B? Uh, I can tell that it's a rotation. How do I know it's a rotation? It's definitely not a reflection. Let me cut that out. It's not a reflection. It's not an enlargement. It's not a translation. It is, in fact, a rotation. So it's a rotation. And how is A changing into B? What kind of a rotation is this? Like clockwise, anti-clockwise, 90 degrees, 270 degrees? What kind of rotation is this? So, excuse me. So this line is rotating into this line. So I know it's a 90-degree rotation. And also I can tell that it's going in this direction. So I'll write 90 degree. This direction is clockwise. Clockwise rotation. And also I need the center of rotation. Now for center of rotation, you would need a tracing paper. So what you do, you place the tracing paper on the sheet and you trace this triangle A, sorry, not a triangle, the trapezium A on the tracing paper. Then you randomly select a center. Let's say 0, 0 is the center. So you select the center. What you do, you put the tip of the pencil on 0, 0 and then you rotate the page. You bring this side towards the sides and see if this trapezium overlaps on trapezium B. If it does so, that means your center is 0, 0. Otherwise, if there's not a complete overlap between the trapezium A and the trapezium B, then you redo this process and choose another center. So you keep doing this until you find a center. Now, if seen from the marking scheme, I know the center is 0, 2. So when you place the tip of the pencil on 0, 2 and rotate the tracing paper, you'll notice that this trapezium will completely overlap this trapezium, meaning that the center of rotation is 0, 2. So once you found that, you write with center 0, 2. Shape A onto C. It's looking like a reflection to me. Let's see. So yes, looks like a reflection. Let's see. These are two diagonals and that's also two diagonal. That means I'll mark this point in between the two diagonals. And then this is one diagonal, two, three, four, five, six diagonal. There's six diagonals, so in between it's this point. So I've marked the center of the diagonals, the diagonal distance, and then I'll make a line like this with a scale, of course, which I don't have right now. So this is the line of reflection, and notice that this is just the line y is equals to x. So the answer will be reflection on line y equals x. Okay, next is A onto D. Now A onto D is definitely an enlargement. This is changing size, that means it's an enlargement. So C would be enlargement. I need the center of enlargement. I also need the scale factor of enlargement. Scale factor, I can tell this was the original length 2, and this is the new, sorry, the original length is 4 units, and the new length is 2 units. So the formula for scale factor is new length over old length. New length over old length, which is 2 over 4, which is half. So it's an enlargement with scale factor half, and I also need the center of enlargement. Okay, so yeah, we need the center of enlargement. Okay, so for the center of enlargement, what you do, you just join the corresponding vertices with the scale. So let me use the scale here. So I could join these two vertices. And I'll join another two vertices. Let's join these two. And wherever the lines meet, that's the center of enlargement. So I didn't do a great job at making the uh, lines meet, but I'm pretty sure actually they're meeting here at 4 comma 6. Let me quickly check from the marking scheme. 4 comma 6, yes. So enlargement with scale factor half and center is 4 comma 6. If you make a mistake like mine and your point of intersection is not on a whole point, then you just round it off to the nearest whole point. So the nearest whole point to my point of intersection is 4 comma 6, which is the answer. So the answer for part C is supposed to be enlargement, scale factor half, center 4 comma 6. Enlargement, scale factor half, center 4 comma 6. Next question. population of a town decreases exponentially at the rate of 1.7% per year. The population now is this. To 50,000, calculate the population at the end of 5 years. Okay, so the formula is 1, since it's a population decrease, minus 1.7 upon 100 power 5, and you write the original value over here. The population is now 250,000. Calculate the population at the end of 5 years. So you write 250,000 over here, the current value, and you get the new value over here, which is x or whatever. Let's find that value. 250,000 times bracket 1 minus fraction 1.7 upon 100 bracket close power 5. I'm getting 229,460.3215. We're supposed to round it off to the nearest 100. So that's going to be 500. 229,500. Yes, that's the answer. And you have to be very careful about the final requirement of the question. Very often students overlook the final line of the question and hence lose 1 mark. So it's very easy to lose marks here, so please be careful. Read the entire question. Write the recurring decimal as fraction. So how you do this question, so you start with let x equals 0.26 with a recurring dot on 6. Now I'll write 10x equals 2.6 with a recurring dot, and 100x equals 26.6 with a recurring dot. So 10x is 2.66666 and 100x is 26.66666. So if now I subtract 100x minus 10x, so I can get rid of the recurring values after the decimal. So that just gives me a 24 and 90x over here. So x equals 24 over 90, and this simplified is 24 over 90 is 4 over 15. And if I press SD, I am getting the same value, 0.26666. So my working is correct. Okay, next question. So write down the median. Median in a box and whisker plot is just this value, which is exactly in between 11 and 12. So this should be 11.5. The median of this is 11.5. Okay. Next, I have to find the range. Range is simply the maximum value of the data minus the minimum value of the data. So what's the maximum value here? It's 14 minus what's the minimum value? 2. So the range is 12. Next, we need the interquartile range. Interquartile range is the upper quartile. Upper quartile in a box and whisker plot is this value, which is 13.5. So upper quartile 13.5 minus the lower quartile, which in this case is 5, which gives us 8.5. Yes, that's the answer. Okay, question 50. Okay, we have to find the angle ABC, give reason for your answer. So ABC is this angle. First thing I'm observing in this question is alternate segment theorem, which is if you have a segment like this and a tangent like this, sorry, wrong segment. Here's a chord. I used the wrong word, I meant chord. Here's a chord and here's a tangent. The angle between the chord and the tangent is the same angle that you'll get in the opposite segment. So if you join these two ends with a triangle, so you will get 64 here as well. This is also 64. So I'll first write, because what is that? ABC, yeah. So I'll write that ADC equals 64. We have to give reason for your answer, and this is 64 because of alternate segment theorem. Okay, next I can find the opposite angle very conveniently, because the difference between these two angles is 180 degree, or sorry, their sum is 180 degree. So um, ABC would be 180 minus 64, which is 180 minus 64 is 116, and the reason is cyclic quadrilateral. Now, what is a cyclic quadrilateral? Cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral whose all four vertices touch the circumference of a circle, like in this case. So if you have a cyclic quadrilateral, then the opposite angles sum up to 180. So that's why 64 and the missing angle would sum up to 180, and the answer would be 116. So you must write cyclic quadrilateral and alternate segment theorem to get the full 3 marks for this question. Okay, next question. Okay, solve the simultaneous equation. We have a linear equation and then we have a quadratic equation. So what we'll do first, by substitution, I'll write 7 minus 3y here. So 7 minus 3y whole square minus y that's 42y plus 3y whole square, 9y square minus y square equals 39, which gives me 8y square minus 42y plus 10 equals 0. Now I'm going to divide both sides with 2. 4y square minus 21y plus 5 equals 0. Now we're supposed to solve this quadratic equation. I would use middle term breaking if it works. Okay, so I'm looking for two numbers whose product would be 4 times 5, which is 20. So I'm looking for two numbers whose product is 20 and whose sum or difference is minus 21. So it could be minus 20 times minus 1 gives 20, minus 20 minus 1 gives minus 21. Excuse me. 4y square minus 20y minus y plus 5 equals 0. 4y can be taken common, y minus 5 minus 1 can be taken common, y minus 5 equals 0. So y minus 5, 4y minus 1 equals 0, which gives me y equals 5 and y equals 1 by 4. So y equals 5, y equals 1 by 4. Now I'll find the corresponding values of x. So x is 7 minus 3y. So x equals 7 minus 3 times 5 and x equals 7 minus 3 times 1 by 4. So the first one gives me 7 minus 3 times 5 gives me a minus 8. So minus 8 here. Now the next one is 6.25 or 24/5 over 4. Question 17. A and B have these points. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to AB that passes through M. So start with finding the slope of these two lines. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 minus 12 over minus 2, which gives me a 6. Now I have to find the slope of the line perpendicular to this line. For that, I'll have to take negative reciprocal of the existing slope. So that's going to be the perpendicular slope. Oops. Something is wrong with the board. Give me a second while I try to fix it. I hope it's fixed. Yeah. So the perpendicular slope will be minus 1 over 6. So the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. Now I need the value of c. For c, I need a point that passes through this line, and that point is A. So I'll substitute 3 comma 5 here. 5 equals minus 1 over 6, 3 plus c, 5 equals minus half plus c. So c equals, what is 5 plus half? minus 1 over 6x plus 11 over 2. I need another second, I'm sorry, I'm coming back. Alright, hopefully back for good. Question 18. A car travels at a constant speed. It travels at a distance of 146.2 meters, correct to the nearest one decimal place. One decimal place means 0.1. You divide it with 2. We get 0.05. So the upper bound here is 146.25. We've added 0.05 here. And then I'm subtracting that from the same value, which gives me this. So the upper bound distance is 146.15. The lower bound distance is 146.15 and the upper bound distance is 146.25. How did I get that? One decimal place is 0.1. 0.1 divided by 2. You always start with dividing with 2. 0.1 divided by 2 is 0.05, and then when we add 0.05 to the original value, we get the upper bound. When we subtract it, we get the lower bound. Then it says 7 seconds, correct to the nearest second. Now nearest second means 1 second. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, which means the upper bound here would be 7.5. The lower bound here would be 6.5. Now I need the upper bound speed. Now the formula for speed is distance upon time. If I need the upper speed, then the numerator has to be the upper value and the denominator has to be the lower value. So upper distance was 146.25 and the lower time is 6.5. This would give me the answer 146.25 divided by 6.5, 22.5 meters per second. Next question. On the diagram, sketch this graph. So from the calculator, you can check that cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0, cos 180 is -1, cos cos 270 is 0 again, cos 360 is 1, and then you can join all of these with a smooth curve. Try to do a better job than me, but this is what the general trend of the graph will be. Part B, solve this equation. Just a second. Okay. So it's 4 cos x equals 1, cos x equals 1 by 4. Now I'll take uh, cos inverse of 1 by 4, which is 75.524. Okay, so cos is positive in the first quadrant. Add sugar to coffee. So all sine cos tan are positive in the first quadrant and only cos is positive in the last quadrant. So I'll make an angle like this and an angle like this. This is 75.5224 and this is also 75.5224. So the first answer is just 75.5 because we're supposed to round off the angles to one decimal place, and the second answer is 360 minus the first answer. 360 minus 75.5224. 360 minus answer is 284.47, so that's 284.5. Okay, on question 20. Find the values of a and b. So very simple way of doing it is you expand the right hand side and then compare. So x square plus 2ab, so I can write bx plus b square. Let's start comparing. Minus 12 will be equals to 2b, so b equals minus 6, and then the constant here is a, the constant here is b square, which means a equals b square, a equals minus 6 whole square, which is 36. two statements about the relationship between x, y, z. So we can see that zy is actually double of xy. So if two vectors are multiples of each other, then they're either parallel or collinear. Collinear meaning that the points x, y, and z would lie on a straight line. In this case, they're collinear and not parallel because they share a common point. If two vectors share a common point, then obviously they cannot be parallel vectors. So you can write x, y, z are collinear or they lie on a straight line. Okay, are collinear points. Also, you can state that zy is twice of xy. These are the two facts. That's it. We're done with the paper. I'll see you next time with paper 4 of the same variant.